Hello, and welcome back to Print Talk. I'm Neil, your host, and today I'm here with my co-host, Kenneth. We've got some exciting news from Bambu Lab, especially for those of you who, like me, have been dreaming of the day when printing flexible filaments in an AMS system would finally be a reality.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going, Kenneth?
It's a great day, Neil. You know I get excited about all kinds of advancements in 3D printing, but I have to admit this one is particularly interesting. Bambu Lab is finally releasing a TPU filament specifically designed for their automatic material system.
Right?
And that has the potential to be huge.
Okay, so for those of you just tuning in,
Yeah.
TPU is a type of flexible filament, great for things like phone cases, wearables, and all sorts of functional prints.
Yeah.
But historically, getting TPU to play nice with automated material systems has been,
Right.
to put it mildly, a challenge.
Exactly. Flexible filaments, especially TPU, have a tendency to, well, flex a little too much inside those intricate AMS pathways,
Right.
leading to kinks, jams, and a whole lot of frustration for users.
I know, I've definitely ripped my hair out a few times trying to wrangle TPU through my AMS.
Oh, yeah.
Most people have just resorted to manually feeding it, which kind of defeats the purpose of having an automated system in the first place.
Yeah.
You end up having to detach the PTFE coupler, that's the little connector between the AMS and the printer, and basically babysit the whole process.
Not exactly the hands-free printing experience we were promised, right? So the big question is,
Right.
has Bambu Lab cracked the code with this new filament?
Well, that's what we're here to unpack. Bambu Lab claims that this new TPU filament is specifically engineered to eliminate those jamming issues within the AMS. They're saying it's going to glide through the system like a figure skater on an Olympic rink.
That's a bold claim. So what's the secret sauce?
Right.
Did they completely reinvent TPU?
That's what I was wondering too. It doesn't seem like they changed the chemical composition drastically. What's interesting is that early reports suggest this TPU is actually slightly more rigid than your typical 95A TPU, clocking in at around 98A.
Ah, so they've gone for a slightly stiffer material.
Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense. It's like they found the sweet spot between flexibility for your final print and rigidity to prevent kinking inside the AMS.
Right, like they gave the filament a little backbone, so to speak.
Yeah.
And speaking of early reports, we have to talk about Vorkorsican78 over on Reddit. This user got their hands on some early samples
Oh, nice.
and posted a pretty comprehensive review.
Vorkorsican78 are unsung hero. They've done the community a huge service by testing this out.
I know, right?
What did they find?
Well, their first few prints weren't perfect.
Okay.
They started with a standard TPU temperature of 240 degrees Celsius, but they were having some issues with layer adhesion.
Okay.
But when they cranked the nozzle temperature up to 245 degrees, voila, perfect layers.
Wow.
And even printed a little whale bath toy to test durability.
Interesting. So a slightly higher temperature might be the key to unlocking optimal adhesion with this new TPU. This is where that community feedback is going to be so valuable.
Right.
As more people start experimenting with this filament, we'll get a better sense of the ideal printing parameters.
Absolutely. And, you know, even though the early results look promising,
Yeah.
Vorkorsican78 did note a couple of things that might need a bit more finessing.
Oh, do tell. Well, like most flexible filaments, this new TPU seems to have a bit of trouble with bridging. Vorkorsican78 reported some noticeable drooping, especially on longer bridge spans.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's always a bit of a balancing act with flexible materials.
Right.
You want that bendability, but you don't want it to sag too much during printing.
Right. And this is where slicer settings and support structures come into play.
Yeah.
You might need to tweak retraction settings, printing speed, and cooling to mitigate that drooping.
Exactly. And then there's the question of multi-material prints.
Oh.
Vorkorsican78 tried combining the new TPU with PTG, and while the adhesion wasn't terrible, it wasn't exactly rock solid either.
Yeah.
So there might be some room for improvement there. Maybe some design considerations, or even the development of a special interface layer.
That's a great point. If this filament really takes off, we might see the emergence of new design guidelines specifically for multi-material prints incorporating flexible components.
Oh, wow.
Think about it. You could have intricate mechanisms with both rigid and flexible parts printed as a single unit.
Now you're getting me excited. The possibilities are really mind-blowing.
I know, right?
Imagine designing a robot arm with flexible joints or a drone with shock-absorbing landing gear all printed in one go.
Exactly. And this brings us back to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Why is this such a big deal?
Right.
Reliable, flexible filament in an AMS system could be the missing link to unlocking the true potential of multi-material 3D printing.
I totally agree. We've been talking about the holy grail of multi-material printing for years.
I know.
And this could be a major step in that direction.
It could be revolutionary.
Yeah.
Think about the impact on fields like wearable technology, medical devices, robotics, anywhere you need that combination of strength and flexibility.
Okay, so let's say our listener is convinced and wants to get their hands on this filament right now.
Yeah.
What do they need to know?
Well, the official launch date is just around the corner, November 12th.
Perfect timing for those holiday gift projects.
Exactly. And the filament will be available directly from Bambu Lab's website.
Okay.
They haven't released pricing yet, but we expect that to be announced along with more detailed technical specifications on launch day.
So it sounds like we'll have to wait just a little bit longer to get all the juicy details.
A little bit, yeah.
But in the meantime, what do you think this means for the future of 3D printing? Is this really the game changer we've all been waiting for?
I think it has the potential to be.
Okay.
We're still in the early stages, of course.
Right.
And there are some challenges that need to be addressed, like that bridging issue.
But the fact that Bambu Lab has seemingly overcome the major hurdle of getting TPU to work reliably in an AMS system is huge.
Absolutely. And as more people start using this filament and sharing their experiences,
right,
we'll get a better understanding of its true capabilities and limitations.
Right. And remember, this isn't just about the filament itself.
Right.
It's about what this development represents for the future of multi-material printing and the incredible possibilities it opens up.
Yeah.
This could be a pivotal moment in 3D printing history.
Yeah.
A shift towards more complex, functional, and innovative designs.
It's like opening a door to a whole new world of creativity.
Exactly. And now the question is, what will you create?
That's the question we should all be asking ourselves. We've talked about some pretty amazing potential applications, medical devices, robotics, even custom footwear with varying levels of support. But I'm sure our listeners will come up with even more creative and innovative uses for this new material. I have no doubt. This is where the real magic happens, when creative minds start pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Right.
Who knows what incredible inventions we'll see in the coming years.
I can't wait to find out. This feels like the start of something really big.
It does, doesn't it? It's like we're standing at the edge of uncharted territory, ready to explore a whole new world of 3D printed possibilities.
And for anyone who's been hesitant to dive into the world of flexible filaments because of those AMS headaches, this new TPU from Bambu Lab might just be the solution you've been waiting for.
Absolutely. And even if you're not a Bambu Lab user, this development is still incredibly exciting.
Right.
It signals a shift in the industry, a commitment to making flexible filament printing more accessible and reliable for everyone.
That's a great point. This could be the catalyst for other manufacturers to step up their game and develop their own solutions for automated flexible filament printing.
Right.
The competition will only lead to more innovation and better products for all of us.
Exactly. A rising tide lifts all boats, as they say. And in this case, the rising tide is a wave of flexible filament innovation.
So to all our listeners out there, I encourage you to embrace the flex. Explore the possibilities, experiment with this new TPU, and let your creativity run wild.
And don't forget to share your creations with the community. We're all eager to see what amazing things you come up with.
Well, Kenneth, it's been another fascinating deep dive.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me today and sharing your insights.
Always a pleasure, Neil.
And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Print Talk. We'll be back soon with more exciting news and insights from the world of 3D printing. Until then, happy printing.